Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer holds a secret transfer meeting with Thiago Alcantara over the possible move to Manchester United in this summer transfer window. Now it did recently say that Manchester United are now ahead of Liverpool in the race for Thiago Alcantara. Bayern Munich have already revealed their asking price. They do want around £27 million. They've actually lowered their valuation because at the first they said they wanted around £31 million. Now, Liverpool have been emerged as the favourites for a while, but Liverpool are refusing to meet Bayern Munich's asking price, like Fabrizio Romano had recently revealed, because Liverpool are aware that Thiago is available on A3 next year, because that's when his current contract does expire. And it recently said that Liverpool will only step up their interest if Gini Wijnaldum was to leave them. Now, Bayern Munich CEO Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, he said recently that Bayern Munich are expecting an offer for Thiago Alcantara in the coming days because he's likely to leave Munich in this summer transfer window. But I've got to say, he is a cheap solution. You know, Thiago Alcantara is predominantly a box-to-box midfielder, but he can also be deployed as an attacking midfielder and he can also be deployed as a holding midfielder. He is 29 years of age, so he is in his late 20s. Now, he's endured 7 years with Bayern Munich. He has scored 31 goals in 235 games in all competitions and he's won around 16 major honours. Of course, recently won the Champions League with them. Bayern Munich did pay around €25 million for him from Barcelona back in 2013. So maybe there's a possibility, chance that Manchester United could get him on the board. It has put Manchester United fans now into meltdown with Solskjaer holding talks with him. So could he be possibly our next signing in this summer transfer window? Because we've just recently completed the signing of Donny van de Beek from Ajax. Obviously, we've got him for around £39 million. Obviously, it's like just over 34 million up front with like 4.4 million in add-ons. Donny van de Beek has signed a 5-year contract with Manchester United to keep him at the football club until 2025. And there's also an option of a further year. So Donny van de Beek is our first signing in this summer transfer window and he's our 5th permanent signing overall under the Ole Gunnar SOlSJAER era. On Monday, he did complete his medical in the Netherlands. Donny van de Beek will travel to the UK after Netherlands game against Poland tomorrow. I think Donny van de Beek, by the way, has given his first interview since becoming a Manchester United player. But I said to you, didn't I, what convinced Donny van de Beek to sign for Man United? And it was, I think, the meeting that I had with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer not too long ago. It has confirmed that he's going to be wearing the number 34 shirt to pay tribute to, I think, one of his mates. Can't remember his name. And he's going to be the 13th Dutch player to play for Manchester United. And I do presume that Donny van de Beek will be making his debut in our game against Crystal Palace on the opening day. But yeah, he is a very, very good signing, and I think he will complement Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba fantastically well in our midfield. But I'm very, very surprised about this. You know, I didn't expect Manchester United to sign Donny van de Beek because obviously, you know, it says PSG were in for him. Tottenham made a late approach for him. He said Arsenal wanted him, but they couldn't afford him. You know, Barcelona went in for him, like I said. It actually said earlier on this year that Real Madrid had reached an agreement to get Donny van de Beek for around £47 million. But But I think he put Manchester United fans into meltdown, you know, when Donny van de Beek refused to play in Ajax's game against Frankfurt recently. And he also told Mark Overmars and Edwin van der Sar that he will not be playing for Ajax again. But Edwin van der Sar a few months ago did make an admission saying that Donny van de Beek would be allowed to leave Ajax, but only for a suitable fee. And Ajax's head coach, Erik ten Hag, he said that, you know, Donny van de Beek was likely to leave. But I knew there was a lot of trustworthy in it, you know, when it came from Fabrizio Romano, because he said, before it was actually official, that Donny van de Beek to Man United is a done deal. Mohamed Bouatsfi, he also said it was a done deal as well. And obviously Donny van de Beek did tell his Ajax teammates that he's obviously going to be joining Manchester United. But I think he's going to do well for us. I thought he was exceptional at Ajax. You know, he was at Ajax for several years. I think he enjoyed around 12 years with Ajax. Obviously, you know, joined their youth set up in 2008. He was in their youth set up for a good 7 years. And obviously made his senior debut in 2015. And in total for Ajax, he scored 41 goals in 175 appearances in all competitions. He was still under contract with Ajax until 2022. In the 2018-19 season, Ajax did get to the Champions League semi-finals, and he was key for that happening. And they also won the domestic double in the 2018-19 season. But Ajax have let quite a few of their players go now. You know, they've let Donny van de Beek go. They let Ziyech go to Chelsea in February. They let Frankie de Jong go to Barcelona last summer. And they also let Matthijs de Ligt go to Juventus last summer. So yeah, but it's the first piece of good news for Manchester United, like I've said, because everything was going wrong, you know, prior to the news regarding Donny van de Beek and all of that. Because obviously we had the incident with Harry Maguire. You know, obviously Harry Maguire has been given extra time off. You know, reflects on, you know, his arrest in Greece and his court case in Greece. You know, Brandon Williams recently got injured. You know, Pogba not so long ago got tested positive for coronavirus. You know, Marcus Rashford, he obviously got an ankle injury. Now he's a doubt for England's games against Iceland and Denmark. And Wan-Bissaka, don't forget, he said he was set to miss the start of pre-season training because he said the other week was that he recently travelled to Dubai and he's got a quarantine for 14 days. But I've got to be honest with you, you know, it did take us a while to get our first signing on the board, because the summer transfer window, I think, has now been open for over 5 weeks. But SOlSJAER said, you know, he's looking to make now 3 more signings, that, you know, Donny van de Beek is now official. I just now want to give you some breaking news on Sergio Romero. Now, I read this in The Athletic, and it says that Aston Villa want Sergio Romero. One of the outlets, it mentions that Aston Villa have agreed a fee of around £8 million with add-ons included. Now, it did say that we want Jack Grealish as part of a deal of Romero going to Aston Villa, but I'm very sceptical that Aston Villa would accept it. It also mentioned that we could offer Diego Dalot to Aston Villa as part of a deal of us getting Jack Grealish. Now, Sergio Romero is likely to leave Manchester United, because obviously, you know, now Dean Henderson is back at the football club, and obviously, you know, Sergio Romero doesn't want to be, you know, third choice goalkeeper. Now, obviously, Sergio Romero has endured 5 years with Manchester United. We got him on a free from Sampdoria back in 2015. Now, Romero's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. Now, last season, I think Romero played in all our League Cup games. I think he played in all our FA Cup games prior to the semi-final, and he played in all our Europa League games prior to the semi-final. So, yeah, looking likely, no, we are going to offload him. Just some news on Dean Henderson. Dean Henderson has reportedly threatened to leave Manchester United if he's not assured to be number one this season. Don't forget, Dean Henderson did recently sign a new 5-year contract with Manchester United. Plus with an option of a further year. So in total, it's a 6-year deal worth around 120 grand a week. Now, I've said to you, SOlSJAER needs to put Dean Henderson as number one this season, because I do believe now that Dean Henderson is reliable enough to become our number one goalkeeper. Because Dean Henderson has now got that experience behind him. You know, because he recently enjoyed 2 successful loans with Sheffield United. And I've got to say, he was Sheffield United's player of the season, Dean Henderson. And Dean Henderson's had quite a few loan spells, you know, with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. We got Dean Henderson back in 2011 from Carlisle. You know, we got him at the age of 14. So Henderson has been part of the club for several years. But SOlSJAER said he was looking to loan him out again for this season because he don't feel as though he's ready to be number one. He said he wants to stick with David De Gea as our number one. You know, De Gea has been our number one goalkeeper for several years. You know, this season is going to be David De Gea's 10th season at the football club. De Gea has enjoyed like 9 years at Man United. And like I've said to you before, I think he's had 7 good years out of the 9 years he's been at Man United. In the last couple of years, he has been a liability, reflecting on his calamitous mistakes. But I said if we'd have sold him in this summer transfer window, we'd have still probably got around £60 million for him, despite the fact that he has been inconsistent. We paid just over £18 million for him from Atletico Madrid back in 2011. You know, De Gea has made around 405 appearances for Man United in all competitions. 300 odd of those appearances have come in the Premier League. You know, De Gea, don't forget, has won everything domestically at the football club, and he's also won individual awards reflecting on his good run of performances over the years. But when De Gea does eventually leave Manchester United, I think he will go back to Spain. Main explanations: born in Spain, relatives are from Spain, his girlfriend's from Spain, he began his footballing career in Spain. And back in 2015, which was 5 years ago, he was very close to joining Real Madrid, but due to fax machine, the deal never materialised. So SOlSJAER's definitely got a goalkeeping decision to make. But SOlSJAER said during our Europa League campaign that he was facing a goalkeeping dilemma. Now, I want to give you some breaking news on Chris Smalling and Fred. So I think this is stemming from Tele Radio Stereo. They've said that Roma are eyeing a double swoop for Chris Smalling and Fred. Now, reportedly, Man United and Roma are edging closer to an agreement for Chris Smalling. Because Chris Smalling has said that, you know, he wants to leave Manchester United. Fabrizio Romano did say there's a new bid that is incoming from Roma. Now, Damasio, who's also a very reliable Italian journalist, he says that Smalling's set to go out on loan for another season with Roma. And then there's going to be an obligation to buy for around £12 million. And reportedly Smalling's going to sign a 3-year contract. But obviously, you know, we've said for us to get rid of Smalling permanently, we want around, £18 million. Obviously, Roma wanted to get Smalling during our knockout stages in the Europa League, but Roma weren't willing to meet our valuation. They was only willing to pay, like, was it 12 or 13 million pounds. SOlSJAER did say that Smalling does have a future at Manchester United, and he said he was in regular contact with Smalling whilst he was out on loan with Roma last season. But to be honest with you, he did very, very well on his loan spell with Roma. Last season, he really, really did. Smalling, you know, has still got a contract with Man United till 2022. You know, he's been a long servant at the football club. Smalling's enjoyed a good 9 or 10 years with Man United, but he has been with us since the Alex Ferguson era. So there you go. He also said that Inter Milan were interested in Smalling. He also rejected a move to Newcastle a few weeks ago, but he wants to go to Italy. Now, the news on Fred is that, yeah, Roma are also interested in him, like I mentioned. Obviously, Galatasaray have recently been interested in Fred, and it says that Galatasaray have inquired about getting Fred on loan with the option to buy Fred, because Fred recently said that he wants to leave Manchester United. And obviously, since the arrival of Bruno Fernandes, Fred has actually, found game time quite difficult. Obviously, now Donny van de Beek's at Man United, he's going to find game time even more difficult now. So, do you think we'd make the right decision if we did get rid of Fred? I think Fred has dramatically improved as a Manchester United player. Obviously, he's enjoyed a few years with the football club. We did get Fred in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window. We paid around £52 million for him from Shakhtar Donetsk. And I've got to say, Fred was an exceptional player at Shakhtar Donetsk. Under the Jose Mourinho era, Fred received a lot of criticism. But under the Jose Mourinho era, Fred never really got his opportunities. But last season, I thought he did very, 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 very well. Kept the ball well, very mobile. Made some very, very good touches. And, he has still got a contract with us till 2023. And I think he's made around 70-odd appearances for Man United in all competitions and scored around 3 goals. So that is the breaking news on that. The news on Jadon Sancho. Man United are reportedly not giving up on Sancho until he publicly says that he wants to leave Dortmund. Till he publicly says he wants to stay at Dortmund, So the news on him. You already know the news on Dayot Upamecano from Leipzig. So yeah, there is so many players on our agenda. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say, didn't he, that he wants Manchester United to make at least 3 signings in this summer transfer window. Obviously, Solskjaer is looking to improve the squad. There's still key areas where Man United are lacking. Obviously, now we're trying to get a centre-half in. We'd obviously try to get a right winger in. But Solskjaer has spent, around 260 million now at Manchester United. Obviously, last summer he brought Daniel James, and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And in January, he bought Bruno Fernandes and he brought Odion Ighalo on loan. And obviously, we just recently brought Donny van de Beek in. Also, too, Solskjaer's brought a few academy players in. So it's good that he's bringing some more young players in. We've got a lot of good young players coming through at Manchester United. But like I said to you, prior to this news regarding Donny van de Beek, Manchester United were beginning to lose a lot of patience with the board. Obviously, we've been critical of Woodward and the Glazers for several years. Obviously, there's main explanations behind that. Obviously, reflects on how poor our recruitment policy's been for several years. We've been criticised for overpaying for players. Obviously, Woodward's been at the football club since 2012. The Glazers have been at the football club since 2005. Woodward, did say, don't forget, he's determined to back Solskjaer in this summer transfer window. And he assured that his job is safe a few times. And the Glazers said they are determined to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because this summer transfer window, Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager. But I do believe Solskjaer's progressing as Man United manager, because he publicly admitted that obviously Man United have got to spend money in this summer transfer window. And like I said, this season is the big test for Solskjaer, because obviously, this season is his 2nd full season at the football club. And he knows that he's going to have bigger expectations to exceed. I think our expectations this season will be to challenge for the Premier League title. And another one of the expectations will be to win a major honour. We haven't won out yet in terms of silverware under Solskjaer. And we haven't won a major honour for over 3 years. And that's the first time this has happened in 31 years. And it's very imperative that we do have a strong start to this season. Obviously, last season was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season at the football club, and to be honest with you, I think he did quite well. Exceeded most of his expectations. Obviously, got us to 3 semi-finals, got us to the FA Cup semi-final, got us to the Europa League semi-final, and got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. Also got us qualification for the Champions League. And I did say how important Champions League was for our players, attracting players and for the financial structure. And we also finished third. So he did exceed most of his expectations. And at the first part of last season, you wouldn't have thought he'd have exceeded any of his expectations, because at the first part of last season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. And at that particular point, Solskjaer's job was under serious pressure. It really, really wasn't. At that point, there was talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in, and there was also talks of Massimiliano Allegri coming in. But you saw one of my videos I did yesterday, and I said to you, didn't I, how Manchester United can win the title under Solskjaer, and that is make at least 5 signings in this summer transfer window. I don't think we're going to make 5 signings in this summer transfer window. I think we'll probably make another 1 or 2. It's very imperative as well that we keep our imperative players at the club. Like I said, keep Rashford at the club because he's the foreseeable future for Man United. Keep Martial at the club. He's definitely improved under Solskjaer. I think we need to give Paul Pogba a new long-term contract at the football club. Definitely want to keep him. Very imperative that we keep Luke Shaw. It's very imperative that we keep Matic, I think. So yeah. We've also got to get rid of the deadwood at the football club. To be fair, Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he came in, but there's still deadwood at the club. We could get rid of up to 8 players in this summer transfer window. Obviously, we're looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard. We're also looking to get rid of Andres Pereira. We're also looking to get rid of Smalling, Rojo, Jones, Delors. Romero, like I said, he's open to leaving the club. And I think we've also loaned a few players out, haven't we? So they can get regular first team football. I definitely think there's certain players that have also got to improve at Man United. I think Harry Maguire's got to improve. I think Lindelof's got to improve. Bay's got to improve his fitness. And Wan-Bissaka, he needs to improve his attacking intent. Rashford, I think there's still aspects of his game that's got to improve. Solskjaer's decision making's also got to improve, because in a lot of games last season he was very tactically naive, but in some games he did show tactical flexibility in that. But like I said, we haven't won the Premier League title since 2013. The last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. So we haven't mounted any title challenge up in the last 7 years. So that just proves how inconsistent we have been. Obviously, in the last 7 years, we've had different managers with different philosophies. We spent close to the £1 billion range on players. We've recruited around 32, 33 players since Ferguson left, and this includes who we've brought in so far under Solskjaer. Obviously, under the David Moyes era, we brought Fellaini and Juan Mata in. Obviously, under Louis van Gaal era, we brought players like Schneidlin in, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Di Maria, Falcao, Memphis Depay, Martial Shaw, Rojo, Darmian, Herrera, Romero. These are the players we brought in under Louis van Gaal. Obviously, we did win the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal as well. He enjoyed 2 years at Man United. Jose Mourinho, he brought around 11 players into Manchester United. He brought, obviously, the likes of Sanchez in, Mkhitaryan, Ibrahimovic, Paul Pogba, Matic, Lindelof, Bay, Delors, Lee Grant, Fred, Lukaku. Who else did he bring in? Is that it? Yeah. He brought a hell of a lot of players in. Did Jose Mourinho. And actually, the vast majority of his team is Jose Mourinho. Mourinho did enjoy 2.5 years at the club. did win the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season. But I give you the main explanations why it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board. Obviously, the board weren't backing the signings he wanted to make, because he made it clear to our board in the summer of 2018 that he wanted a centre-half, never got one. And Mourinho also had bad disputes with our top players. So there you go. So like I've said to you, SOlSJAER is inheriting a squad that is worth 700 odd million pounds, disregarding, of course, who he's brought in. Obviously, like I said, in the entirety of our history so far, we have won 45 trophies. Obviously, 38 of them trophies came under Sir Alex Ferguson. Obviously, Ferguson endured 20 odd years at Man United. Like I said, though, didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at the club. But I just think it's going to be hard for any manager at Manchester United to replicate Ferguson's legacy or to last as long as Alex Ferguson did. You know? But I do have trustworthy now in SOlSJAER. You know, I did say at the first, didn't I? You know, he may need help, you know, to get the signings that he wants. Don't forget, we have been in the process of trying to get a director of footballing since the Jose Mourinho era, because Woodward has said quite a few times he's keen on Man United getting a director of footballing. I said if we get a director of footballing, we need someone with the right philosophy, someone who knows the club well, and someone who's got that experience and all of that. So there you go. But I think SOlSJAER's learnt a lot at Manchester United. You know, the good news is now he's got that managerial experience behind him. Man United is the third club in his managerial career. Before he was with us, he was with Mulder. Before he was with Mulder, he was at Cardiff. Don't forget, he managed the Manchester United reserve team for a couple of years. Obviously, you know, he watched some of this team in this day and age go and develop. You know, SOlSJAER, I think, now obviously knows his best 11. And I presume he'll go with his best 11 against Palace. Because, obviously, I think we'll have a fully fit squad by the Palace game. We play Palace on the 19th of September. And I think he knows his best formation. You know, a lot last season, he was going with that 4-2-3-1 formation. You know. But like I said, you know, there's been some very, very good signings that have been made in this transfer window. I think Chelsea have done the best, are doing the best business. They've brought players like Hakim Ziyech, Timo Werner, Ben Chilwell, Malang Sarr, THIAGO Silva, Kai Havertz. So have they got him in now? You know, they're trying to get Declan Rice. Chelsea are going to be up there, I think, this season. Liverpool, they recently signed to Sikmas from Olympiacos. Obviously, he's a left-back. He's a backup to Andrew Robertson for Liverpool. Man City, they try to get Messi. But so far, I think they've signed Ferran Torres and Nathan Ake. Tottenham, they recently signed Holberg, Doherty, and they got Joe Hart on a free. Arsenal, they recently got Gabriel Magalhaes and they got Willian on a 3. So there has been some very, very good signings made so far. But the transfer window is open until October, don't forget. So still over the month yet until the transfer, just over the month until the transfer window shuts. You know what I mean? So yeah. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.